Louisiana Lou Wright Sanders has thrived in a variety of roles at SRP Federal Credit Union, while always challenging the organization and the credit union movement to improve opportunities, equity, and access for women and people of color. Lou began her career as a teller at the credit union and would later work in the accounting department. In 1991, she decided to run for the board of directors. At the time, she was the only African-American employee of the credit union. When she ran for the board, there were no persons of color or females on the board. She reflects that she ran to ensure that people who looked like her had a voice and were fairly represented. Though unsuccessful in her first bid in 1991, she secured a place on the ballot, campaigned hard, and was elected the following year. She's been on the board ever since. Once Mrs. Wright Sanders became a member of the SRP board, she began advocating for more pay for the credit union employees. At the time, the workforce was primarily made up of female heads of households. Over the years, she has continued to advocate for equal pay for all SRP team members. Another opportunity Louisiana saw was in financial education to support members' understanding of budgeting, credit reports, and other financial principles that would help them succeed. This emphasis grew from an awareness that people of color were less likely to be approved for loans versus other members. Following board approval of her suggestion to budget funds for this purpose, SRP presented its first financial workshop prior to one of SRP's annual meetings. She still advocates for financial literacy training today, and SRP has won numerous awards for its dedication to providing financial education. Mrs. Wright Sanders also led the charge to create opportunities for African Americans to serve in leadership at the credit union. She encouraged people to run for some of the credit union committees and the board, and they in turn recruited others for leadership positions. The results of their efforts yielded a more diverse board, committee structure, and leadership team at SRP. Louisiana Wright Sanders is a founding member of the African American Credit Union Coalition and has been a champion for building a more diverse credit union movement. In 2018, the coalition inducted Lou into the African American Credit Union Coalition Hall of Fame, honoring pioneers in the credit union industry. In addition to her credit union service, Mrs. Wright Sanders is also active as a volunteer and leader in several important initiatives in her community and in the state of South Carolina, some of which include These are a few examples of Lou's remarkable servant leadership over nearly 40 years as a volunteer, leader, and advocate. The Foundation proudly congratulates Mrs. Wright Sanders as the 2024 recipient of the Advancing Equity Award. Please join us in welcoming Mrs. Louisiana Wright Sanders to the stage.